Ladies and gentlemen, can we all come inside?
Hope everybody is as excited as I am. I mean, today we are launching a brand that our bodies have basically been yearning for. Sugar Lalomnanzi, that's less processed, GMO-free, low GI, and has powerful antioxidants. What's there not to be excited about? After all, Nucaine is the good sugar to be enjoyed guilt-free. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I now leave you in the capable hands of our MC for the day.
Ministers, ESA President, and the senior members of the industry, ESA management. We have guests that are joining us from overseas. We have our customers today who have joined us for this launch and other special guests that we have. We extend a warm welcome to everyone that has been able to join us both physically and virtually on a special occasion for the sugar industry. My job is not to be master of ceremonies, just facilitate. Everyone is going to enjoy this brief encounter that we are having with our day. I don't want to be preempting the rest of the activities too much, but I just want to indicate that we'll get to know what today is about in more detail. Just to run down the brief program as I'm facilitating, we will have the opening by the ESA president shortly, and then maybe just ask to run the rest of the program after we have been welcomed. Before I say too much, maybe ESA president, if you can just make your remarks to welcome everyone to this special occasion, and then I will run the rest of the program after that. The ESA president is Mr. Stuart Gladen Hayes. Thank you.
Yes, Prashad. Good morning, everybody. Please forgive me if I stutter a bit. This is my first as president, or acting president. Again, as Walter said, my job is very simple, is to welcome all attending, and I would just like to start with welcoming the honourable ministers. Thank you very much for your time out of your, we know you have very busy diaries and days, and Vele Namuhla is Friday, so again, thank you very much. And to all of that, we have the honourable ministers, we have the director from the health department. We unfortunately don't have the director from the International Sugar Organization, Jose, who wanted to be with us virtually. Sorry, maybe just my apologies. A warm welcome to everybody, locally, physically, and virtually. Again, a new experience. Also, just to welcome members of the sugar industry, both local millers and growers, the ESA management team who've done all the background work for today. Thank you very much for them to put this program together. Senior government officials, the founder and CEO of Nutrition Innovation, which today is all about. ESA customers of particular importance, welcome. There's some very familiar old faces. I'm looking at one or two in particular. And then other invited guests. Thank you for being here, taking the time. Again, I know it's a Friday, and we all have very busy calendars and diaries. So again, thank you for taking your time. Just a little bit about today. I think just from an ESA point of view, and my day job is a grower, and we rely on ESA management and that magnificent team to do the hard work for us and make sure the product that we start with, the sugarcane, ends up in the right places and at the right times and at the right price. So again, thank you. And ESA have been driving hard on the traditional way of driving sugar, and we've traditionally been maximizing sucrose production. And in the current world, that focus has to change a bit, so hence the product we're talking about today. So. And that involves improving efficiency in the fields and at factory levels, and then now the latest step is efficiency and marketing of sugar. And for me, it's an exciting phase in our lives, and it's only the beginning. This process is still the cornerstone of base revenues that ESA and the marketing department work on, and they generate this with new value creation opportunities and various other ways. At the same time, the industry is expanding. It's sugar base. So it all works together. And there's no point us as growers growing the sugar if there's nowhere to send it or sell it. So again, this becomes more important. And it's the same process. And this whole sugar industry is a complete circle. So we need to enlarge that circle and keep ourselves sustainable. So obviously, the try and not dilute our price at the end of the day. And at this stage, I talk as a grower. of the sugar produced, the sugar cane produced in Swaziland, approximately 50% is produced by growers. And I'm not saying a miller's not a grower, but he has other interests. And of that 50%, 25% are small growers. And it's extremely important that we keep that team, that group of people sustainable. And we all know where costs are going. So today's process is a start in that direction. Just again, I'm not going to talk about the launch. I think there's enough technical people around to do that, and we will hear fully about it. But I think it's just important to note that the product that we're launching today is an innovation. And we, as far as I understand, we are the first industry in Africa to embrace this process. And for me, that's a wonderful step from a little Eswatini. We're a relatively small, we are a small country, but we're also a small industry in the world. But we're out there, and we're a bit of a force, and it's great to be able to say this, that we were able to go in this direction. So I'll leave it up to the technical guys to explain to us what we're going to launch. So basically, guys, for me, that's really all. Again, just ethical. Again, taking time out of diaries. Please, let's take what we're going to see and learn today. Let's try and use it in our businesses and make us more efficient. And at the end of the day, we all want to make more money. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President. We have a giant industry. I think that's the takeaway from it. A giant industry has to act giantly. And we are looking forward to see how the management of ESA is going to do that. The mandate has been given by the President. Management has to deliver. Let's see how the CEO intends to do that and how the product that we are about today ties into that nicely. May I welcome the CEO of the ESA, Dr. Phil Mnisi, to make his remarks and introduce us to the product, and then we will take it from there.
Program Director, Mr. Walter Matsebula. Without breaking any protocol, allow me just for a moment cover and maybe patch somebody who would have loved to join us from Guatemala and express his thoughts and views, but unfortunately he is not able to join us. That is Mr. Jose, who is the Executive Director of the International Sugar Organization. He was going to speak immediately after me, but for various reasons and due to health, he's not able to join us. So with your indulgence, Program Director, before I get into my speech with the protocol, let me just read an email he sent. Immediately we extended our invitation, and I think this email shall give context and his heartbeat on what is happening here today. He wrote on the 25th of February when we were inviting him and said, "Dear Phil, thank you very much for your email and kind invitation to participate in the launch of New Cane on Friday, March the 25th in Eswatini. And I congratulate ESA for staying ahead of the curve and always being at the forefront of innovating to attain solid competitiveness. Believe me, Phil, there is nothing more I would have liked than to come down and visit your country to get a first-hand view of all you are doing. But unfortunately, my personal health situation makes it tell. Nevertheless, I would be honored to value chain through beneficiation and value addition. Today, Program Director, promotional campaign is Love Sugar. And I hope you saw a rap from today's papers, and that should have energized the nation to rally behind this industry. With that comes a moral responsibility to offer advice on sugar consumption, but also explore the production of a healthier version of sugar. We pride ourselves, honorable ministers, in producing one of the best sugars in the world. With new cane, we intend to give consumer a choice. It is also intended to cater to certain special needs. For example, those of diabetics or people who simply crave for sugar, but their system does not take on its consumption. It does not mean that this sugar can be consumed unlimited. Let me emphasize that. We have got Doctor of Health. It doesn't mean that you just indulge just because ESA has said we now have a low GI sugar. It doesn't mean that it should be consumed in unlimited quantities without causing harm. That is certainly not the case. The intention is to continue advocating for eating or consuming healthy proportions of sugar, but to also offer the option for those who may consume more that this sugar would absorb much slower in the blood system, thus making it safer for our consumers. Ladies and gentlemen, the innovators of New Cane, nutrition innovation, will speak briefly to the science and the benefits of this sugar. I intend not to steal their thunder. Why should I? They are the experts. We are aiming to have some consumer products produced from this low GI sugar so that we can expand the reach of this healthier sugar offering. It is early to unpack some of these partnerships for now, but be on the lookout as we roll out this product and, of course, many other products that we are envisaging as an industry. For those who are here physically, warmly welcomed by our president, you will all get a packet for yourselves to taste and enjoy at home at the end of the launch. So Christmas has come early. And I also aware that you have also enjoyed some breakfast today, just so that you know every product that you tasted this morning has been made out of this low GI sugar. I think you can give a big hand of applause to show that the product is already in the market. For those of you watching from afar, I will be very irresponsible if I do not give you appropriate recognition and acknowledgement. If you need a packet of 500 grams of this new cane, speak to me nicely. I will arrange for you to be WhatsApped to you. But please know that the quantities are limited. Therefore, first come, first served. Ladies and gentlemen, what a great honor, what a privilege to be part of this industry at this time when we are pushing the frontiers and looking at other territories. And what a privilege again to be blessed by our honorable ministers on this great occasion. We thank you all and appreciate our customers and all the players in the value chain that make this industry the success that it is. God bless and good morning.
Thank you, Doctor. The doctor has outlined how he's going to do his assignment and what his assignment is. He's more eloquent than me, so I would not want to interrupt much by saying too much. I will just invite everyone to observe the apology that has been sent by by Mr. Jose Orive, who's the Director General, the Executive Director actually of the International Sugar Organization. He was supposed to speak after Dr. Phil. Unfortunately, he's not able to join for reasons that the CEO has explained. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll proceed with our program. The CEO has indicated that he's not as scientific as some people. The scientists are going to come after him and explain what they've done and how they've done it and how this product is the best that they can offer at this stage. We have Nutrition Innovation joining us by video, so they will be playing a video of their contribution to this event. I know they are live. They are joining us live from Singapore and Australia. On this platform, we are live streaming, so they are here. They will be happy to take questions after the event, I'm sure. But we'll play their video just now on their contribution to this event and how they've come with this product. Ladies and gentlemen.
On behalf of everybody at Nutrition Innovation, a special congratulations to everybody at the Eswatini Sugar Association on the launch of New Cane, a new innovation for the region and a new innovation for the world. We're very excited to have partnered with all of you to bring this innovation to the market. New Cane low GI sugar is a unique specification of raw sugar that is high in polyphenols, that are low in reducing sugars, and is consistently produced to be a healthier choice for everybody in the market. The specification of New Cane low GI sugar has been invented by our founder, Dr. David Kanar, and I've asked him to share a few words about why this innovation is so unique, why is it so special, and why it's a great choice for your customers.
So while working as a professor in nutrition, it became clear that there's an issue, there's a lack of choice in this area of unrefined carbohydrates. There's fibers, of course, but specifically with respect to sugar, there's white refined sugar. And in fact, actually talking to industry, it became quite apparent that there was no choice that the industry had for an unrefined carbohydrate with sugar. And if they did, then it wasn't consistent. There's brown sugars around, but not for industrial customers that require consistency, reproducibility, and particularly reproducibility everywhere in the world. And so that became pretty much the mission of Nutrition Innovation, to be able to provide a consistent, healthier, better choice, a more broader available product, so that industry had a choice. So the glycemic index is just a clinical measure of response to any carbohydrate. In this instance, that's focused on sugar, but it's the amount of blood glucose that's actually absorbed into the body, so that the body must metabolize sugar, which is a disaccharide, and then breaks it down to monosaccharides, glucose and fructose. And the glycemic response is a measure of the blood glucose level, and then it's a spike that goes up that we measure over about 120 minutes. Originally, it had genesis in diabetes, gestational diabetes, but now it's actually used as more a measure for glycemic response in healthy individuals. So low glycemic diets have been found universally now to be able to help prevent diabetes, of course, because you're getting less of an insulin spike following the high glycemic food. But it's also helping with heart disease, obesity, and other long-term chronic health issues. There's more and more evidence that's been published about the benefits of a low glycemic diet. So pure glucose has a glycemic response of about 100. And so individuals take that as a standard, and then that becomes 100 for them. Then they take white refined sugar, which based on that scale of 0 to 100 is around about 65 through to 68, depending upon the individual. And then the low GI sugars typically sit around about the 53 range, 52 to 53, sometimes a bit lower, sometimes marginally higher, but they're consistently below 55, which is counted as low glycemic. There are other low glycemic sugars and sweeteners, I should say, available. The problem with them are great tasting products, but the scalability of niche products like coconut sugar, for example, is just not there. Sugar is one of the largest crops in the world. It's been produced as a commodity, is available in significant quantities, but nobody had actually taken the step to be able to provide the industry with technology to be able to provide a lower glycemic sugar, consistently lower glycemic sugar. In fact, in the early 2000s, there was an understanding some of the less processed compounds that are actually in sugarcane that actually reduce the glycemic response, but there hadn't been any work to actually analyze them and then in an industrial scale be able to then measure them and then retain them in the sugar in a consistent manner. And so by doing that, those compounds actually then reduce the glycemic response of the sugar. So our task was to actually develop the technology to be able to provide to the industry in a scalable fashion a solution that would then be able to produce a consistent sugar. Now, how these phytochemicals work, polyphenols, there's quite a number of them that are naturally occurring in sugarcane. The technology that's developed actually retains those sugarcane polyphenols, and they in turn actually slow the metabolism of the disaccharide into the monosaccharides, so sucrose into glucose and fructose, so slows that metabolism, and also the membrane in the gut to be able to then lower the glycemic response, the blood glycemic response in us as individuals. So there are a number of patents behind the technology, the NuCane technology. There's a closed loop patent that's actually an engineering patent, and that is allowing the architecture to be plugged together in a way that is novel and inventive, of course. There's also the composition of matter. While there might be very high pulse sugars or direct consumption sugars produced, but none of them have been historically produced to this particular standard that provides, or a reproducible standard that provides a consistently lower glycemic product.
David has explained some of the science that sits behind the NuCane specification. The technology that has been installed at Ubumbo leverages upon two things: near-infrared scanning from world leaders Voss and processing control systems from Schneider Electric. Together, they not only help make the NuCane low GI sugar more efficiently at Ubumbo, but in fact, it also helps create more efficiency across the entire line of production by giving greater processing control over key areas like akumsa, moisture, reducing sugars, and of course the polyphenols which help make the low GI sugar. This NuCane technology is a first of its kind within Africa, and we're very proud and very excited to work with leaders such as the Eswatini Sugar Association to bring this innovation to the market to allow yourselves and your customers benefit from these new innovations. NuCane low GI sugar has been successfully launched in other markets around the world, most notably in Australia and New Zealand, where it was first launched in 2019 and widely available in retail stores and consumer products. Additionally, it's been launched in markets like Malaysia, where it's achieved 60% retail share in the brown segment, and it taps into the fast-growing DC raw segment, which is booming around the world and growing at over 6% globally. And together with the Eswatini Sugar Association, we're uniquely poised to capitalize on that growth by offering the NuCane low GI specification to the market, not only within Eswatini, but also within the SACU region, and of course with exports to Europe and beyond. NuCane low GI sugar has been awarded all around the world. In fact, just last year, NuCane low GI sugar was singled out by the United Nations as being one of the top 50 small businesses in the world, bringing change to food systems everywhere. We're very proud of that innovation because not only can we bring healthier choices to the market, but we can give affordable carbohydrate choices to everybody. As a summary, there are key benefits to the new cane technology that has been embraced by the Eswatini Sugar Association. Firstly, yes, it's low GI. So
This community present this morning. Mine will just to introduce the sequence of how our speeches this morning will go. We will start with the representative of the Minister of Health, Dr. Vusi Makakula, who will just make that remark. Then we'll come to Minister of Agriculture, then we end with Minister of Commerce in that sequence. Thank you very much, representative of Minister of Health. Thank you.
Program Director, Minister of Commerce, Industry and Trade, Minister of Agriculture, the Executive Director, International Sugar Organization, the President of the Eswatini Sugar Association, CEO of Eswatini Sugar Association, Eswatini Sugar Industry members, millers and growers, Director of Royal Eswatini Sugar Company, Founder and CEO of Nutritional Innovation, Eswatini Sugar Association customers, health officials, media representatives, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I am glad to have been invited to this important occasion where Eswatini Sugar Association is introducing a product called New Cane, which is a low glycemic index brown sugar. Program Director, it gives us hope as the Ministry of Health to see such developments taking place in the food industry in our country. And credit goes to Eswatini Sugar Association and stakeholders for this important initiative. From my research and consultations, I have been informed that the glycemic index is a tool that is often used to promote better blood sugar management. The glycemic index is a value used to measure how much specific foods increase blood sugar levels and increase your awareness of what you are putting in on your plate. Foods are classified as low, medium, or high glycemic foods and ranked on the scale of 0 to 100. The lower GI of a specific food, the less it may affect your blood sugar levels. Foods high in refined carbohydrates and sugar are digested more quickly and often have a high GI, that is the glycemic index, while foods with high protein, fat, or fiber typically have a low GI. Determining the GI of a food that you often eat can be useful if you are following a low glycemic diet. The GI value is always taken into consideration by nutrition experts in advising on diet choices for those with NCD risk factors such as obesity and those being managed for non-communicable diseases such as diabetes mellitus. Although sugar is one of the foods with a high glycemic index, it is still a well-known fact that the body does need sugar as its primary source of energy because they are vital organs which need sugar for energy in order to function properly, especially for young children. Excessive intake of sugar can result in obesity and non-communicable diseases. Thus, the global WHO recommendation for sugar intake is that it should form less than 10 consumed by an individual for that day, which is equivalent to less than 6 teaspoons of sugar per day. Non-communicable diseases continue to be a major threat to the people of Eswatini, with many people dying from hypertension and diabetes in the country over the past year during even the COVID-19 pandemic. Between 2015 and 2020, the number of outpatients consultations for diabetes and hypertension doubled in the country. If current trends continue, patients with these conditions will overwhelm the capacity of our facilities. In 2014, a staff survey was conducted, and it revealed that more than 90% of the adult population who had one or more risk factors, including smoking, harmful use of alcohol, physical inactivity, obesity, and poor diet. The survey further revealed that in Eswatini, 14% of the population were living with diabetes and 33.5% were living with hypertension. The prevalence is projected to double by 2030 if more aggressive preventive measures are not taken today. Even more worrisome is the fact that more than 50% of the people living with hypertension do not know their status, leading to late diagnosis and complications such as amputations and kidney diseases. The ministry is therefore encouraging a holistic management of patients with non-communicable diseases and promotes prevention measures aimed at managing risk factors for non-communicable diseases, namely smoking, harmful use of alcohol, physical inactivity, obesity, and poor diet. The last two factors, obesity and poor diet, are strongly related to high consumption of sugar and sugar foods. Following a healthy diet includes reducing the consumption of sugar, in particular of consumption of low GI foods that will not cause spikes in blood sugar levels, especially among those being managed for diabetes. Our dietitians and nutrition officers do provide advice to clients and patients on the best nutrition to manage their condition. This is best done on one basis so as to find the most suitable diet for each client, since we know that there is no one-size-fits-all in the area of diet management. The Ministry of Health is working with other government sectors, partners, to establish and revise nutrition policies that will provide guidance on the introduction and pre-testing of new food products. We know that your organization will be part of this endeavor, and we work towards developing the food industry regulations in the country to be of better standards. We are hoping that the industry aligns with key policies such as the Healthy Public Food Procurement Policy that requires all public advertisement to carry a health message of warning to the population. In addition, the ministry strongly believes that labeling of low GI sugar shall comply with local standards that emphasize on clear labeling with detailing and guiding nutritional information per serving to provide consumers so to prevent overindulgence on the low GI sugar, which can result from intense advertisement. As a Ministry of Health, we are therefore glad that our country is moving ahead in providing options such as low glycemic index sugar. We are looking forward to further engaging in studies with the developers to understand the effect of this product in our people. We are open to partnering with Eswatini Sugar Association in nutrition research studies pertaining to diabetic management and obesity, especially in the younger population, including the benefits of taking Nucane product. We continue to rely on strong evidence-based to develop policies that suit the local market. We would like to take this opportunity to appreciate Eswatini Sugar Association and the other stakeholders involved in the development of this product called Nucane. We look forward to continue strengthening our partnership towards promoting healthy diets and ensuring a healthy nation. Thank you to all who are here today, who have contributed to the success of this venture, which is the introduction of the low glycemic index brown sugar, Nucane, to the markets. We look forward to a long-lasting relationship as we forge ahead to ensure a healthy population. I thank you.
Asibonge kakhulu sithathele lithuba kunivusela bekunene egameni la Jesu. Amen. Libandla liyajabula kakhulu ikakhulukati leli la agriculture ngalomsebenzi lesihlangene ngawo namuhla. Etiko sinema strategies lahlukahlukene kepha ingcenye yalama strategy CEO minister indzaba ye diversification iyatekwa kuphindze futhi kutekwe indzaba ye agro processing bese kutekwa indzaba ye value chain. So ke uma ke siva umsebenzi walohlobo lelesihlangene ngawo namuhla sijabula kakhulu thina silitiko la agriculture. Umuntu ke uthakathathele lithuba atibongele kakhulu kule nkaphane minister yaka Eswatini kodwa kuthiwani ESA angithi ESA siyathokoza kakhulu kuva umsebenzi lomuhle lenwendako waloluhlobo kakhulu. So you have 100% of our support njengelitiko la agriculture nalo lelimele uhulumende. Siyathokoza kakhulu, siyati ukuthi uma kukulinywa bese kuthi lokulinyiwe sekwenta tinhlobonhlobo temisebenzi kuye bese kuyasita ke kwakha nemisebenzi eveni nemaswati yakhone kusitakala kuthola imisebenzi yekokuthi bakhone nabo kusebenza. So siyabonga nje kakhulu kuloko. Mhlawumbe ke angivete ke le CEO lokuthi bengide nje minister njengenduna tekulima kutokotha umhlangano nekubuka umsebenzi lomuhle iorganization lewendako bengingedi kutokwenda speech so lingethuki libandla ngiko nje ngiyiteka ngalolwakithi ilwimi ngoba ngifuna eve maswati ukuthi sendani la sikhona khona. Kepha ke nase ngifika la sengiyeva ke minister ukuthi hawu ungathi kukhona nawe lokubhekeke ukusho sengibhalabhalile ke ama notes ami lamancane lapha ngoba i-technology seyasita yabakhona. So may I be allowed then to take this opportunity to greet the ESA president and then my colleagues, Minister of Commerce and Minister of Health in absentia, and then the CEO from ESA, and all senior people that are here and abroad. We, as the Ministry of Agriculture, are very much grateful to the association for this initiative, which continue to build the competitive advantage of the industry and our products in the global market. And as a Ministry of Agriculture, we are cognizant of the cutthroat competition that our sugar face in the market since the liberalization of the EU sugar market. Thus, we are pleased to see the industry pulling all strings to differentiate our products and remain relevant in the market. In our strategies in the ministry, diversification, agro-processing, and value addition are top priorities. And in order to create wealth for our communities, we encourage product diversification. In the case of sugar, we have always been supporting the idea of value addition, as this will increase the income to our farmers and retain jobs in upstream production segment of the value chain. We are also appreciative of the role that is played by the sugar industry in developing our rural communities, particularly those that are involved in sugar cane production. Program Director, may I also take this opportunity to congratulate the industry and urge that the sugar value chain model be continued in the future as it has become a learning curve for other value chains within and outside the country. In this regard, we need to make sure that all that we do is very beneficial to all players in the industry. And with so doing, we are going to grow from strength to strength while leaving no one behind. With these remarks, honorable ministers, I profoundly congratulate the organization for achieving this milestone. And thank you, and may God bless you.
It's amazing how well the minister speaks when he's not prepared. Program Director Babe Matsebula, thank you for the opportunity. Honorable Minister, Minister Mabuza, our Minister for Agriculture, and Dr. Makakula, representing our Minister for Health, the Executive Director of the International Sugar Association, Mr. Jose Orive, whom we understand is indisposed due to health reasons this morning, and we do wish him a speedy recovery. I'm told he's the Acting ESA President, Stuart, thank you for your remarks. The ESA CEO and the management team, sugar industry members, the millers and the growers. I see packers as well here. The founder and CEO of Nutrition Innovation, I think it's the guys we saw in the video. All ESA customers, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning. I will obviously be extremely brief because all the salient points about today's event have been adequately covered by the speeches that were delivered by the Minister of Health through her representative, Dr. Makakula, as well as my colleague, the Minister of Agriculture. But I feel a need, CEO, to speak to, again, in Siswati, just to explain to a Maswati what this product actually does. I'm taking a risk, Dr. Makakula, because basically I'm trying to explain to them what you are saying, but in Siswati. So if I mess it up, you will clean it up. Begnene, uma ngabe sidla kudla lokunashukela, lokwenteka ke emtimbeni ngiloko ukuthi lo shukela ijima bese uya engatini. Uma ufika ke lengatini kulesi sikhathi ke ukhanze ukuthi udala tifo letitsite, ngiko ke bese bathi sinetifo tashukela. Kunaloku ke lobe kulicwaningo lobe sololwentiwa ukuthi yini lokungentiwa ekudleni lokunashukela noma nje kushukela yena mbamba lokuthi uma ngabe umudla angakudaleli lesifo. Sihlangene ngokuthi sitobuka mhlawumbe impumelelo lenkulu kuloko lempumelelo isekuthenini ke boso science lesesibavile bakhuluma lamhla lo shukela wethu la kangwane singanciphisa lokho lokubanga lesifo la emtimbeni ngeke ukuthi lesikhathi nalelizinga la shukela logcina angenele ngatini masimdlile kuncishiswe kakhulu ngilokulabathi ke low glycemic index lokusho ukuthi kuthatha isikhathi mhlawumbe lesithe kulo shukela lo ngatini noma ngabe umdlile futhi ke kulokunye mhlawumbe ukhanze ukuthi nezinga lalo shukela logcina afikele ngatini ngalendlela njengoba dokotela Makakula asho kuqhubeka mhlambe kwelcwaningo kuqhubeka kwescience kuqhubeka mhlawumbe kwe-innovation njengoba induna yetekulima beyisho lokuthi le industry sikhutsate siphinde si-incentivize kwekuthi i-innovate. Lamhla ke siyajabula kwekuthi live la Kangwane lisebenzisana nabo science labakhulu emhle labanye base Australia labanye bakubo Mauritius labanye bakuletinye tindzawo lesebenzisana nabo kulomsebenzi lo lokusho ukuthi ke lokhu lokwenteka lamhla la Kangwane ikakhulu kule industry yashukela kukhombisa ukuthi vele siyaqhubeka siba mhlambe ngemahlahlandlela ekuthenini le industry yashukela siyibeke ukuthi eMaswati aqhubeka athola umsebenzi ngoba uma ngabe sesikhona kuba nalamanye ama products ashukela lesesitshelwa abodokotela ukuthi angeke asibangele mhlambe tifo ndlobale sive sonke sisitakale ngishayele intandla. Dokotela ukunika ngakhi out of 10? 10 over 10. So there you go. My primary degree is in biology and to understand these things. I will be extremely brief. As our Minister for Agriculture has said, as a government, with strong pride in the Eswatini sugar industry, particularly as it continues to play a multifaceted role in the development and the longevity of the sugar industry in our country. A lot of what we have heard today gives us as a Ministry of Commerce, whose primary mandate is to create jobs, a lot of comfort because it speaks to the beginning of something new. And when the customers of Eswatini Sugar Association and other sugar industries in the world get to learn of this innovation, it means the industry itself is going to grow. A lot of comfort, to the comfort of saying that it is not sparkling white or golden brown here, but it is really all about being a leader in innovation. I think we've given the world something to talk about in a positive sense, Stuart, when it comes to Eswatini, because again, we are leading in a very nonsense. Now I can have an easy identifier that this is another proudly Eswatini product, because I'm told we are the only African country that is currently producing this type of sugar. So congratulations yet again. We have said in our strategic roadmap that we want to promote an export list of attendees here. I see a lot of companies that are already in the export market. And I think, this technology is going to find its way into research and development centers of people that are already producing, traditional products using traditional sugar. And they will now start saying, we want to substitute our confectionery. For example, business substitute traditional sugar with new cane. And that will be a very, very fantastic partnership that will see our international markets benefiting from this development. We are also very happy to hear that, you've already partnered with some local co-packers that will send this sugar to other, external markets, and it will actually enhance our export-driven strategy. I think really the delivery by Dr. Makakula on behalf of Minister Health was extremely telling, to say we are not saying as Dr. Mnisi put it out, that now you can eat sugar to your heart's content, but rather we are saying as you eat sugar and sugary products responsibly, there's a new variant, a new cane that will really ensure that your health from sugar. Actually, it's amazing, Minister, for me, because as you know, I used to work for a company that uses a lot of sugar in its products before politics. I never thought I would hear a Ministry of Health standing up to endorse a sugar product. And I was wondering, is that the reason the minister is not here? But but really, this is a great milestone. With those few remarks, congratulations. And I have no doubt whatsoever that this new innovation is going to catch on, and it will again make Eswatini a beacon of pride in the sugar industry across the continent. May the good Lord bless you.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Ministers. It is humbling to speak after ministers for me, and I think I'll have to be privileged. Particularly speaking after two ministers, not just one minister, three ministers. CEO, you pulled it off, and congratulations to you, putting all this in this gathering. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of our shift first before everyone else. So please, let's calm, allow the ministers to step out. They'll step out on the grass for the photo shoot. We'll join them immediately so that we don't delay them. And there is lunch. There is lunch that is served. As I said, please make sure you don't leave before the lunch is served. We don't have many options to take off the lunch after you've left. I am guilty of one thing, and I have to admit and confess. There's three pastors sitting in front of me, and my guilt is that I didn't start the program properly, and I've been exposed. I've been highly exposed. My challenge now is with three pastors in front of me. I don't know what the protocol is for selecting one to pray. Because now I have to ask one to pray for the event, and also I've lost that one already. So may I, with your indulgence, request the CEO to pray for done. I'm not coming back here. Thank you very much for your cooperation and your support.
Thank you. Can we pray? Our Heavenly Father, we just give you thanks, Lord, for the success of this event. Lord, we are humbled to see our nation, our country, taking this great milestone. Lord, we thank you for the ministers, the ministry, the government, and all structures of this nation supporting this initiative that played successful. Lord, we thank you that this event has indeed been successful because of your grace and mercy. Even as we shall be departing to various destinations, your grace. And that, Lord, even as we partake in the meal, may you bless it as it nourishes and strengthens our bodies. And we also continue to remember those that do not have. And in this we have prayed in your precious name. Amen.